I got to kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
Yo, what's good, everybody? You are now listening to another episode of the Man Listen Show, and today it is our 100th episode, and we are live on Facebook.
Yo, Conversate with Us Radio presents the Man Listen Show. We are the blackest radio show on the internet. We bring you our opinion on topics that affect the Black community in an effort to enlighten, enrich, and empower every brother and sister that falls under the sound of our voice. We operate on a no-hate frequency, so be prepared for us to keep it 100% real and 100% Black all the time. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Man Listen Show. You can also subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify, just basically anywhere you can get your podcast. Go to www.manlistenshow.com. You can find out where you can listen to our episodes directly on our website, or you can download and subscribe to your favorite podcast app. You can also get us on YouTube, and you can see us live and in person. If you want to watch the show on the replay, you can see us and see us clowning. That's on YouTube. You can just Google search the Man Listen Show, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and let everybody know about the blackest radio show on the internet, the Man Listen Show. I'm your host, Mar B. Let's bring the crew in. All right, y'all. What's up with it? This is our 100th episode. 100 episodes of the Man Listen Show, the blackest radio show on the internet. So I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's probably maybe a little over 100, but we got some lost episodes, and them episodes probably need to be lost because they was the episodes that we first started with. You know what I'm saying? So I'll go ahead and get the breakdown on like why we do this show and why I wanted to have these three individuals with me. So, we started a little over 3 years ago with the Man Listen Show, and I wanted to do a podcast. And basically, I was at a point in my life where I needed something to put my focus and my energy towards. I was just, being a dad, and I said, man, I need to get something where I can express myself, my feelings about what I love, the Black community, and I want to put it in a podcast. And I was like, well, I see other podcasts, I subscribe to them, and people put their opinions out there, and I don't want to do it by myself. So I need to have some people with me. And I also need to have some people with me who not only do I respect, who I get along with, who I actually think are smarter than me, because we may get into some stuff where I'm out of my depth, and I need some folks who got my back, who can come and talk and, get me out of some situations if I run my mouth and put myself in some stuff that I didn't intend to put myself into. So off the top, I had to holler at my homegirl, C. C is like the female version of Mara B, outside of her not eating pumpkin pie, you know what I mean? And her liking the weekends trash ass. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you see her, you see me. When you see me, you see her. We're the same. You know what I mean? So I had to have my girl sit down. And then
No doubt.
I had to have Doogie Howser, Arika. Some of y'all don't know. Arika is a real life Doogie Howser. She's a real life Doogie Howser. And and for some of y'all don't know who Doogie Howser is, Google Doogie Howser, and then it'll make more sense to you. So she's not a doctor, she's a lawyer. But I said, let me get my Black Power little sister on here because she's just as ignorant, and I need her on the show, and I need my dude Lav. I need my dude Lav on there because, again, like I said, I need somebody who's smarter than me. I respect his opinion, and, he comes with the quick-witted, make you go and laugh and all that stuff, and that's how we put the crew together like Voltron said there was just 4 of us. So we put it together, and them first episodes, man, it was a little rough, you know what I mean? I remember having to coach y'all like, hey, like speak up, like talk, like use your voice.
Hey, glad we didn't have video, but I had the DJ mic,
and it was
Yeah.
causing all kind of
Oh.
feedback. It, was, it was hanging down.
Yeah.
I looked like he was ready to drop a track every time we recorded. Got ready to freestyle.
Yeah, he did. And then remember that he had the one little mic where he was kind of like holding it to his mouth and stuff.
Yeah.
That was pre-video, man. Right, exactly.
Yeah. We used to, first it was just audio podcast, and then I would just upload the audio to YouTube. And then we started, I said, man, we're gonna take this to the next level. We need to have video. So that's where we was at. And we definitely grown. Our followers have grown. We got people who've been rocking with us, and we sure appreciate them. We got merch now. We want merch, go to our bio, you can buy our merch. And I think I remember when we got over 1,000 followers on our Instagram page, I was like, shit, we made it. But we definitely need more. But man, yeah, I don't want to just hog the show, man. What do y'all think about the show, and what's it meant for you?
Man, I love the show. I look forward to getting on here and talking to y'all like literally every week, regardless of what the topic is. Because sometimes the topic, I'll be like, man, I don't know nothing about this. And that made me think about one of my favorite shows when Daryl came on here and basically like clowned me the whole show. Not just because I still haven't seen The Wire, but because I'm not the most versed in music, so whatever. But yes, I was laughing I was like, man, I keep saying I'm gonna watch The Wire, and somebody literally, like maybe not even in the last week, was like, wait, you haven't seen The Wire? And I was like, like, so I don't know. I'm gonna watch it for real.
I don't know how you haven't seen
at this point though. Don't even do it. It's like I am with Game of Thrones. I kept saying I'm gonna watch it. At this point, I haven't seen it, so it's like a badge of honor. So you need to wear that Wire badge of honor. You haven't seen it, and just be staunch. I'm not gonna watch it.
Listen, at this point, I'm almost feeling like I'm not gonna be invited to the cookout if I don't watch The Wire. It's like I can't play spades. People be looking at me like I'm crazy.
You can't play spades?
You can't play spades?
I can play spades. I'm saying not having seen The Wire. It's like, I mean, God dang. It's like I said I was Republican.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all.
Just said, yes, I can play spades.
No, hey, I don't know, man. Yeah, see.
You eat pumpkin pie, Marv. I don't think you can talk about anybody's political.
At the end of the day, they're gonna let me in the cookout if I tell my eat pumpkin pie. You a closet Republican. They might not let you in.
I'm not a closet. I'm not a closet Republican. I've never
in the closet. She can't be in the closet.
Yeah, I've never denied it. I'm not just gonna close my eyes and just hand people my vote.
Yeah. But I look forward to the show too. I look forward to our discussions, and I wish, as opinionated as we are, and as controversial as some of our opinions have been, because it's been somewhat controversial with this show, because we don't go with the status quo on most Black people from our demographic. But if people were to see our discussions after we stop recording, then we probably really would get canceled, because it's some stuff, man. What's funny is sometimes our discussions after the show last longer than the show. But I just enjoy it. I enjoy the guests that we have. Daryl was one of our good guests. We're going to have him back on the show. Matt Whitener, when he come on sports. Tune in tomorrow. We'll have Matt on tomorrow to talk about Black coaching in the NFL. I'm trying to think. Dr. Gwen was tight. Dr. Shanae Davis is tight. They're talking about, medicine.
The boxing coach.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Boxing coach always like.
Oh, Tristan, my boy Tristan.
Yeah.
Tristan that came on.
Oh, yeah. And then Better Grace.
Yeah,
more grace.
Yeah, more grace. Dr. Slaughter, yeah. And then my boy Max
from Georgia.
My boy, hold on, we're gonna get to that. My boy Max, talking about Bitcoin. That was a good episode. Max, that was a good one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he dropped a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
Comedian Kim D. Remember comedian
Yeah.
Kim
Oh
D?
man. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
hilarious.
I still be
Yeah.
following her. She be cracking me
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
comedian
hilarious.
Kim D. And then how can we forget the Plugs lawyer?
We cannot. We cannot. That's
Yeah.
my
That may
homegirl. I
have been
love
the
her.
most memorable show.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
think that was the
absolutely.
first time that I got punked by one of our guests. She was like, "Come on, man, I'm trying to flow. You keep stopping me." Sorry, ma'am.
Do what you do. Yeah.
I apologize. I apologize.
Like, let's go. I love her.
Yeah, yeah. But see, what when you think about the Man Listen Show, what comes to mind?
I mean, like you said, I love it. I mean, I think it was just like a place or a platform for us just to kind of speak our minds. Like I think we all kind of did it collectively on, different platforms on social media. But I think when you actually get to like, put words to it and interact with other people, I think it helps as an outlet. I think this definitely helped me out during, the COVID period, just us not being able to go anywhere, us always like linking up and having our little mini Zoom call like once a week, like you said, not even just when we're recording a show, but like, afterwards just talking. And then, I think we're just all four genuinely friends. Like we don't just record a show together. I think we're all friends. Like we talk a lot after the show about life, what's going on with each other. And, sometimes that just helps too, just, being able to talk to somebody and actually, see a face with it too. So so I guess it's more than just a show for me.
Yeah, yeah. And make sure for those of y'all who are watching, we're going to share this onto our page. But right now, you can go to my Facebook page and you can see the show, and also we had a replay. Drop a comment in the chat, and we'll read it on there, and definitely shout you out. So, yeah, this show really did, serve a strong purpose for all of us during COVID. Because remember, we talked and we covered serious topics on the matter, and we laughed, and I think each one of us had a phase during the early onset of the pandemic, because we're still in the pandemic, where we had a hard time at different times. I mean, I was the first one to catch COVID, so you remember I was sick for a little while, and that was a tad bit scary, but we bounced back, and I know I can't tell you about everybody's business, but we had some other people in here who caught it, and we've had some arguments about COVID. COVID probably one of the episodes where we had like a knockdown, drag out argument fight on the show. Like we've had one, like I think a couple times Lab has been on some BS and we all had to argue with him, but it didn't get as heated as that COVID show. I think some people unfollowed us because we was going at it.
Yeah, I
And
think those are the best shows though.
But by BS, he means I've been on my black stuff. That's what he's talking about. My black stuff. Yeah.
Those are the best shows though. I feel like when, sometimes there's just topics where, we're just all gonna agree because like you said, we're like minds. That's why you chose this. That's why we all work together. But the ones where those shows where I think where it's like, these two against that two, or, and then sometimes the two against each other sometimes changes. I feel like those make like the best dialogue. Like those are some of our best shows.
It was like
I like it when it's girls against the boys.
Yeah, and it seems like it's that way a lot.
It was like, so like the one episode when we were talking about NASCAR.
I knew you was gonna say that. Yes,
banning the Confederate flag, and Lab and I calling the drivers athletes. And the look of disgust on C's face.
Right. He's like, I got athletes in my family, so those guys do not qualify.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
Drive past every day.
No, that don't take no. It takes skill, no athletic ability, but skill. It's not right.
I think I've never been. If I look at it, we, like I said, we friends on this show. We've debated stuff, we argued stuff. I've never like been mad at y'all or offended by any position that you've taken. I think the only time where one of us got mad at another one on the show was the episode that I forgot to record, and we got all the way to the end, and it was a good show too.
It was.
And I looked and I was like, I said, y'all gonna kill me. And
Yeah.
Arika and Lab was just like, shit, let's just run it back. And you could tell C was like, yeah, just run it back. But she was looking at me like, oh, she was hot.
That was hotter than the streets. That was about an hour.
Yeah.
It was. It was a long show too.
It was.
Got to hit record.
Yeah, it was. That was a really good show. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good show. So yeah, Lab, man, when you get to you, man, what you think about Man Listen? What do you think about?
Man, it's man, listen. It's kind of one of those deals where it's a mixture of what everybody's already said, but more so the last 2 years, really, like you said, with the whole pandemic, it just seems like it's been a good outlet for me. I don't have a large family that I live with. So when it was lockdown, it was just me, I mean, my wife, and I mean, she travels for work. So a lot of times I just be here thinking thoughts to myself. It was a good outlet for me, and it let me interact with other people more so, staying home from work, wasn't nobody doing nothing. I mean, it was just a way for me to interact with people and have good, intelligent, fun conversations on things that, I mean, we see all day, every day on the news, social media, all this stuff. So I think especially the last 2 years, it's almost been like therapeutic. I'll say it that way. It's been therapeutic for me, and that's why I love it. For sure.
It's definitely therapeutic for me, and I'm thankful for it, for real. Go ahead. Who we got in the chat? Shout him out.
Well, he hasn't said anything yet. He just wanted me to give y'all heads up that
he's gonna say something. Okay.
Who was that said that?
If he know you gonna read it, then he gonna say something crazy, right? To make you read it, right?
Who was that? Who said that? See,
Mark Sarpy.
Oh, okay. So Mark, shout out. Okay, so I gotta give a shout out to Mark Sarpy. That's my kinfolk. That's my cousin. Whenever I need something, so the picture where we had us as the death row and they had me as Suge of the crew, then all the stuff that needed like special like Photoshop,
Hey.
Mark was the person that did that for us, so special shout out to him. That. If I got any technical questions about getting the show out or whatever, Mark is definitely that dude. So big shout out to Mark, big shout out to him. Shout out to Janine Payne, one of our loyal followers. Shout out to you. Shout out to Sultana Adams. Yeah, my boy Jimmy. I know Jimmy's dying to get on the show. Let me
I've
tell
been
you
calling
something.
for Jimmy to be on for 4 years.
If you thought that we lost followers with that COVID show, we would lose so many followers. It'd be entertaining though, because Jimmy's one of those dudes that thrives off pissing me off and frustrating me. You know what I'm saying? That's my dude, 50 grand. He's the first dude I met at Mizzou. Like literally, I went to Mizzou for orientation and I met him and his mom, and he told me I had a chance to see his mom maybe about a year or so ago over at his crib. And it reminded me how I was just a young 18-year-old from Top City, Topeka, Kansas, and me telling them, I'm trying to be involved in everything Black, NAACP, Black Student Union. I'm ready to do it all. So I've always been on this tip of doing something for the community. And, that's another reason why this show is important to me, because I want to highlight people who have a commitment to the community. And I want our opinions and our thoughts, because I think that we try to come with opinions that are based off facts. I want us to put that out there just to, jog the thought process of other people. So yeah, that's cool. Arika, you got a favorite episode that we did? One that comes to mind?
Aside from the one where I got roasted the whole time. I think that, of course, what I really like that we talk about the cookout, and then when we did Kanye West, because we were still kind of rooting for him to get his life together. I think in the first Kanye West, is he still invited to the cookout episode? We were still kind of hoping he was gonna be like, psych, I don't really support Trump. I'm just kidding. And all these years later, It was
Kanye's probably the one person that we've talked about the most.
Yeah.
On the show. Like we talked about Kanye more than Trump, more than Obama. Like Kanye's been a repeat topic on this show. We probably make a show about him next week and see that going on with Kim right now.
You know, he got a new movie coming out or something on Amazon or something. I heard.
No way.
Kanye.
Mm-hmm. It's like a documentary about him being a genius.
We was just talking about him today in my house about, well, we was talking about how Pete Davidson be out kicking his coverage because he's knocking down chicks way better than he should.
Boy, hey, he said in that new song though, he said that's why you rich for, so you can do that.
He's petty.
That's not why.
I'm here for it. I'm Team Ye.
That's not why.
So we have a question in the comments. They want to know, what are some of your hobbies outside of the podcast? We'll start with you, Mar. What do you like to do, or what's your favorite thing to do outside of this podcast?
You know, I'm actually learning. I'm trying to figure that out, and I'm not trying to evade that question, but I'm going through some life changes right now, and you know, I've been Active Black Dad. And for those of you that don't know, Active Black Dad is, you know, my website, my book. You can get it at activeblackdad.com, talking about being an active Black father. And that's been primarily my focus for the last 18 years or whatever. So I'm going into a phase where I'm really trying to learn what it is that does make me happy. I like to ride my bike. I like to cycle. So I'm not riding a motorcycle, I'm riding my bicycle. I got a road bike, I got a hybrid. I get a lot of joy out of doing that. I work on my other businesses. One of the sponsors of the show, Didi's Daiquiris, we got a new flavor coming out, Hurricane, launching on January 20th. It's the bomb. So definitely, you know, go to our website and get that. And then really just trying to make this show bigger and better. Like, you know, we're a small podcast. We got some dedicated followers. We don't have like a huge following, but I definitely think that our content and what we put out is on par with the Breakfast Club or whoever else that you put out there. We bring a lot of highlights to like local politicians like Terry Wilson. I got to shout out Terry. Terry's been on the show a couple times. You know, people who aren't known with like large followings, but we put them out there to help enlighten folks to talk about stuff, because we don't just talk about stuff that we just don't know about. We don't know about it. We're gonna bring somebody on the show who's an expert. We may challenge them or whatever, but we want to make sure that we're not just talking out the side of our neck. You know, that's an old 90s term. We ain't talking out the side of our neck when we're on the show. So that's what I do. I kick it to the lab, man. What's your hobbies?
Man, my hobbies are other interests. I don't know if I necessarily have a hobby, man. Per se, I guess when I was a kid, I used to collect baseball cards. I think that's a hobby. But other things I like to do is I definitely like to do anything helping the next generation of kids, mentorship, like big brothers, big sisters. Man, I'm a youth baseball umpire, high school baseball umpire, stuff like that. Just especially in our Black community, I like doing it, man, because I like getting baseball something, man. I always love baseball, man. And so it was one of those things where I just like seeing young Black kids, for them to see me. I'll never forget like the very first high school game I did. It was a Black school, but they saw me as an ump, and I guess they wasn't used to it. And so they was, you know, just having a very good banter with me, you know, stuff like that. And so I was talking to them. And so then fast forward to that next summer after the school season, and I'm out doing like tournament ball, U-Trip or Perfect Game, whatever. And a couple of them saw me and recognized me. It's like, came up to me, you know, they wasn't even on that field, but, you know, they came over to the fence like, hey, you remember us? You remember us? And I did, you know, and just stuff like that, man. Just anything that'll get the kids seeing things that they might not normally see. Like I said, big brothers, big sisters, I do that. Just mentoring different kids that I might know, or being instrumental, helping them, giving them advice, things like that. But other than that, everything is sport, man. I love sports. I mean, I guess I love smoking meat on my Traeger grill, but you know.
Well, I'm glad you put that disclaimer on that, boy, because that started off kind of sketch right there, boy. Said I love smoking meat.
Not playing with you. Yeah, my mom went there too.
exactly.
Get it out the gutter, man. It's a wholesome family show.
Yeah. See, what's your hobbies?
So outside of the show, I'd have to say probably music and sports. I mean, I've always loved music. I listen to new music the same way I listen to old music. I know a lot of the new rap is somewhat trash these days, but I pretty much will give anything a listen outside of like probably country and heavy metal. And then, I mean, of course, sports, like, I still watch ESPN Sports Center, which kind of brought me back to once I thought about that to one of my favorite shows, kind of controversial. I'm a big NFL fan. There's a playoff game going on right now. Marv scheduled a show the same time in the playoffs. I don't know why, but whatever.
And
but,
on the only holiday we get, he ain't giving us our
exactly.
holiday. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. That's okay. Yeah.
So it made me think
King.
Marv was like, because there's a lot of indiscretions going on with the NFL. I mean, we can't deny that. But again, I'm still a fan of the game, and there's a lot of us that are playing it, so I still watch it. But Marv was just anti the NFL for years. I mean, we can probably go back and listen to 3 or 4 shows where he was like, I'm done watching it. I can't believe y'all watching it. He don't want to hear about it, don't want to talk about it. As soon as those Kansas City Chiefs made it to the Super Bowl, Marv had his flight packed, a hotel booked. He was in there.
All right.
With no hesitation. Listen, he was so discreet.
He was on the first.
He was so discreet. I was like, no, be just as loud. Be just.
Hey, so first of all, we did the show, and when Cap settled and he had nothing but them white lawyers, I told y'all I was off team Cap. We can go back to the tape. So
you were still anti-NFL though. You were not watching that whole season.
So I mean, I keep it real. I'm still not NFL like I was before the boycott though. It doesn't bring me the same level of joy. Do I want to see the Chiefs win? Yeah, I do. Absolutely. Because, I'm from the area. My pops was alive. We bonded over that. Yeah, so definitely. But it's not like I'm watching every single game, or that's why you see I scheduled the show when the playoff game is going on right now, because I'm just not really that into it. But I'm glad I went. People got a lot of laughs because my best friend took a picture of us. If you see the picture that he posted, you can see I was like, oh no. He posted it real quick on social media, and everybody would let me have it. And it was funny. It was funny. But I'm glad I went. You know why I'm glad I went? Because I got to kick it with my boys. We hadn't seen each other in a while. We were out and we had a good time. And a month or so later, It was lockdown.
Yep.
It was lockdown. I remember flying to Miami and seeing like a couple of Black people wearing masks like Chinese people, like the Asian people do. And I was like, man, Negroes are so extra. Why y'all wearing these masks?
I was thinking that too. Like, they just so dramatic.
Y'all being like so extra. And then about a month and a half later, we was locked down. So I'm glad I went. I sure am.
Exactly. That was the last. Honestly, that was the last pleasure trip I took. Honestly.
Yeah.
I've gone to see family or whatever, but not saying that's not a pleasure trip, but like a vacation. That was the last
right
kicking it trip I went on. So we got to do one in 2022.
See, got a lot of laughs calling me out on that. They like that you called me out on that one. See,
I mean, it was funny though. I mean, you went from like 0 to 10. Next thing you know, you was on the flight. Wheels up.
He dyed his hair red and yellow.
Man, hey, he didn't even tell us. Next thing you know, he was just in Florida.
Arika, what's your hobbies? So for those who only listen to the audio podcast, Arika pulled up her drink and had a drink. But hey, you know what's funny? What's Arika's favorite drink? It's either Douce or White Hen, right? Douce or White Hen. And what's crazy about it is when you see Arika taking more and more swigs, the show about to get more and more live. Because
Yeah.
when she really on that joint, she be on some rants, boy. They be good rants too.
Yeah.
Man, I'll be listening to the show, be like, woo, didn't nobody shut me up?
Yeah, she be on.
That's actually okay. I'm about
actually,
to. No,
I remember, and I'm gonna let you tell your hobby, but this is a funny story. When we were talking about Viola Davis calling calling Liam Neeson hunky, like a hunk, like a Hollywood hunk.
Hunky,
And Arika was like, why is that cool? Because she thought we put an O on it.
We all did the way you pronounced it.
Hey, I'm from Top City, it's hunky. Like,
Yeah. We were like, what?
I was like, what happened? Why is this not news?
But go ahead. I think that was just that do say. That was that do say. But go ahead. What's your hobby?
No.
Other than drinking.
One of the things that kind of like what Lab said is that I recently while I was on vacation, one of my homeboys, my like brothers called me and he was like, hey, somebody we know, somebody close to us, son just got picked up on a wanted for questioning. He's like, we trying to get a message to him to not talk and this. And then like in the course of that conversation, he was like, I was like, well, my kids know, don't talk to the police without your parent, and B, don't talk to the police without your lawyer, who happens to also be your parent. He's like, when did you have that conversation with them? I was like 10, 11. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, we need to have this conversation with our children. And so in the course of that, we talked about me making a video just of some of the things that I have talked to my children about not talking to police without your parent present. My son, he has all of his insurance, registration, all that stuff is in a clear plastic envelope in his driver's side door. So he's not reaching for anything in the car, just like kind of all the things that I've talked to my son about and my daughter, and just how we can disseminate that information to people who don't have a lawyer as a parent, or people who haven't seen or been through as much stuff as we have seen and been through. And so I've been kind of putting a lot of thought and effort and energy into how to put something like that together, a video that we can kind of to show their children, just to help better prepare our kids for, existing in this world that's, systematically against them. And so I think that that's one of the things hobby wise, aside from the homeless, because I mean, being homeless scares me. And it's one of those things that, when something is that kind of off-putting to you, I think that you have a bigger heart or a bigger, deference to it. And so like to me, I keep blankets in my car. I make like little bags with stuff in it to hand out to my favorite homegirl I see on my way into the office and everything. I'm like, I got to see my friend today. And Alana was like, what's her name? I was like, I just know where she be. So I was like, well, I guess maybe homegirl ain't the right word.
That's wrong. That's wrong. That's messed up. That's messed up.
Wow, that's messed up. Yeah.
Oh, my daughter gives me no slack. No.
Hey, so
she'd be like,
number one, we definitely need to do that. And I want to help you with that as much as I can. I've always told my kids, I don't care if it's a school resource officer or whatever, when you get pulled over, it's call my dad. Just like POW, name, rank, and serial number. Call my dad. And I remember one time my son had got into an altercation at school. And I remember, he always remembers the ignorant stuff I tell him. And I remember telling him, I said, hey, last day of school, keep your head on the swivel because people gonna try you. And the school called me and they was like, sir, your son. And I was like, spit it out, lady. Like, what's wrong? Is something wrong? And she was like, he got into an altercation with another student and we trying to talk to him about it. And the only thing he keeps saying is call my dad. And I said, put him on the phone. Put him on the phone. He's like, Dad, you right. You was right. They tried me. And I was like, oh my God. So I went up there and we handled it. But the other thing is I just moved into the city. So I live in the heart of downtown Dallas, and homelessness is a definite problem. And it's a problem that affects the Black community way more than any other community, primarily Black men. And you see a lot of Black men on the streets, and it's troubling. So, Lab talked about baseball in the Black community. That's a show coming that we need to do, because definitely I think baseball will be a whole lot more live if we have more ADOS playing the game. So whatever we could do to help Laugh grow that, Arika, all those things you talked about, yeah, we need to do it. We definitely need to do it. So yeah, I just really love this show. I love the people that follow us. I can't wait to keep growing the show, keep doing more episodes, getting us to 150, get us to 200. I just think we can do it. We're going to do a live show too. Omarion kind of threw us for a loop. We had planned on meeting up probably like in KC and doing a live show and everything. We still might do it, but it may have to be pushed back a little bit, because of the pandemic though. But anything else in the chat, see?
Yeah, let me take a look.
You got your contacts in, because without them contacts.
No, hey, if I didn't have my contacts in, I wouldn't be able to see. Remember that one time I took my contacts out and Mara, I was like, where am I supposed to look? And Mara's like, the camera. I'm like, if I could see the camera, I wouldn't be asking.
God, I'm talking about 2 feet in front of you.
2 feet.
2 feet in front of you. She was like,
the middle of the screen. You look at the middle of your screen.
Glasses,
You'll be all right.
before I was even old enough to read. That's how my eyesight is. That's how bad it is.
Yeah,
I'm legally
6th grade.
Yeah, I'm legally blind.
I was like, I'm keeping my glasses on today because I was like, watch they be talking in the chat and I don't be paying attention.
Hey,
and know what to do, and I be lost because I be like this.
Yeah. Hey, while y'all playing though, everybody's talking about that 10-year challenge, posting like picture they was young versus 10 years ago versus now. I saw one where it was like the real 10-year challenge. They posted the eye chart and they talked about how like you can see better 10 years. Where, man, my eyesight's getting horrible. And then you know what I think it is?
Mine been horrible.
I think it's because of COVID. I think sitting in front of the screen, like 18, 10, 12, whatever, how many hours a day, just looking at the screen, I think it's affecting our eyes and stuff. I know it's affecting mine because mine.
That was my life anyway. Yeah. I sit in front of this laptop. I rub the letters off my laptop. That's how much I be on this thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to order like one of the protective screens or something,
Or they got
or the blue glasses.
I was about to say, but you guys already wear glasses, but they already have like they got the blue light.
I do both
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I do the glasses and I alternate my contacts. But here's a question. It says, have y'all ever thought about doing shows to see or to cover the Black award shows, for example, the BET Awards, giving them our opinions on the performances, the red carpet outfits, and then maybe any drama that went place after parties. I don't think we've ever actually did one of the BET Awards. I think we did one just to talk about how we're not nominated for different things, like they'll have like Chris Rock post something, but then we're not nominated, we don't win anything. But I don't think we've ever covered the BET Awards.
No, we definitely could do that. That's something that we can definitely probably live stream and watch it. And,
that's actually a good idea.
It's on.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, show. I think we had another question on like how did we all meet? So the backstory on that, C and I are from the same hometown. We're from Topeka, Kansas, aka Top City. Lab and I, and Arika as well, all went to the University of Missouri. And Lab and I are fraternity brothers. I won't say what fraternity because of the color of the sweater I got on today, because I'll definitely get hazed for wearing this, but Lab is representing right there. Big shout out to the first, the first and the oldest and the coldest. And then
why he say you out like that though?
I know. Then he know.
Hey, I was just adjusting, man. My camera had to adjust.
You like stood up.
And Arika is our little sister. Like I said, she's Doogie Howser. So we were damn near grown. We was grown and old heads on the yard, and all of a sudden, here comes this little bitty girl.
She couldn't even drive yet, I don't think.
Man, come this little bitty girl, and they was like,
no.
Hey. So I remember some of the young brothers brought her over to me, and they was like, guess how old she is? And I'm like, well, she freshman, what, she's 18? He's like, oh, she's 16. She's 16 and she up here. And we all of us is like, well, she off limits. And everybody was like,
I got my license sophomore year.
yeah, we was like, nah, this one right here, she off limits. And that's how it was. So she always been a sister. So yeah. We couldn't get to everybody though, because I'm sure you went off limits to everybody. At least in our crew. Yeah,
The first 2 years she was.
Yeah.
Then once she got 18,
I could not
she was
stand
good. She was good.
She definitely was jailbait. Yeah, you know, I like to say that it was because we was just being like big brothers looking out, but it was also like, man, you gonna get you a case messing with this one right here. Be on some Robert Kelly stuff. So yeah.
No, so many people said that to me. They was like, "Oh, you the case."
Yeah, that's the thing. Any other questions?
No, Jimmy said he should be in the league.
That's why you'll never be on the show, sir, for that ridiculous.
Yeah,
right
he did.
there.
Hey, he worked. Jimmy, you worked on your game a lot. You should be, man.
He had a shirt that said league body.
Yeah. Shout out to Jimmy, his t-shirt line, league body. Dude, so advertisers, we got real good rates. If you want to advertise your product, my boy Jimmy, he's got league body t-shirts. We'll definitely hit the link on that. If you got any type of product, any type of service across the country, definitely hit us up so you can advertise on the show. We'll put together a package. We can either put you in the beginning or the middle of the show. So yeah, just that and merchandise. Rika has a book. Rika has 2 books. That, you know what? Those are probably 2 of my favorite episodes too. The one where we interviewed Rika.
Yeah.
We interviewed Rika about her book. And the one where C was the host and y'all interviewed me about my book.
About your book.
Yeah, that was fun.
Those are fun shows. Those are fun shows, for real. So Rika, tell me your books.
Hopefully I have a new book this year.
You gonna do it? Tell them the titles of your books and how they can find them.
Lost, a collection of poems, is my first book. Diabolical Tales of Woe is my second book. You can find both of those on Amazon, and I'm working on Unsolicited Marriage Advice.
So Lost, a collection of poems, because she had a little buffer, and then Diabolical Tales of Woe was the second book. You can find them on Amazon, definitely. My book, Mythbusters, Lessons from Active Black Fathers. Go to my website and buy the book. You can get it on Amazon, but Amazon be taxing. So definitely get it from me. It's the same packaging. We get it. You buy it from my website. You get a nice little signature, even though my penmanship is horrible, and I get it to you. But definitely do that. And if we don't got nothing else in the chat, we ain't gonna just drag it out. But definitely before we go, Rika, what you want to see us do for the next 100 shows? Anything you want to see us do, take it to the next level?
Man, I just want to see us continue to grow like as a unit. I think that our vibe and our flow and like paying attention to each other's kind of cues and been like amazing to grow and develop. Did I buffer?
Yeah, you did. But we got you though.
That's that St. Louis connection. Like, remember that Nelly and Ludacris versus?
That versus.
That's it.
I do really like that.
Look, I gotta sit here like, remember Teddy Riley was sitting there when he was trying to do the verses, looking crazy. Yeah, that's how we looking at Aretha. Like, what's up with your buffer?
We're gonna keep your ear to the.
Yeah, I think her kids is taxing the Wi-Fi.
Playing that game.
No, the boy at work and the girl hopped on her hotspot. It's just trash. It's just trash.
Speaking of kids, y'all don't see it because we edit it out. But how many times have I cussed out my kids or my dog? Rest in peace, Gucci. Shout out to Gucci, because they started making noise or doing whatever on the show. I'd be like, hold on, y'all. And I hit it on mute, and everybody see me like cussing or whatever.
Right. You going off?
Yeah, going off. You know what I mean? But see what you want to see us do over the next 100 shows.
I mean, kind of like what Erika said. I mean, I think that I can definitely tell that we're kind of meshing better now. I think in the beginning, it was kind of choppy, and I think we were trying to go too scripted. Like it was like, okay, this person you go here, this person you go here, and I think now we kind of just pick up. Like I can almost tell, like just by whatever you lead with or whatever you say, like which one of Arika or Laugh's gonna go next, and then just kind of wait to pause. I think that's working out a lot better, and I think that can just continue to get stronger in the future. And of course, just fun. The shows where we're laughing and stuff are always my favorite. A lot of the serious shows are needed. We've had like some really tough conversations, like we had like different like therapists and counselors on here. Those shows are definitely needed, but my favorite are always the fun ones where when we finally I close my laptop and like my abs are like hurting when I get ready to go lay down and stuff like that, just because some of the wild stuff that comes out of y'all's mouths.
Yeah. Laugh.
Man, in addition to what they said and what you've said, I just think if we could all be more get to know each other more individually, not amongst us, but the listeners can. And so then that way, if we do have little pet projects or service projects type things or charitable things we have going on, we can mention them and get people to put attention to those things. So that's something, just sharing more of our personal interests outside the show. That's why I thought that was actually a great question in the chat, because that's something that we really never have, discussed. A lot of people, listen to the show, watch the show, whatever, but they don't know background about each of us individually, or even how we met or how it all came together. So this actually was a great, the 100th plus however many, the 100th, we'll go with the 100th episode has been I like the format of it. And hey man, let's do this again. I mean, every now and again, just go live, have people chime in, ask us questions. Doesn't have to be about anything specific, but just get to know us.
Yeah, I definitely want to do more lighthearted shows. We've always, we start off the show basically on what mattered to us, that's the Black community, and I think we can do all of those things. We can talk about important topics. We've proven that we can talk about serious topics that affect the community, but also like the idea of watching some of the award shows, bringing on funny guests like Daryl from the SOC Network, comedian Kim D, any other comedian. I like to bring on some different rappers, different entertainers, different people who are in different parts of everything that encompasses being Black, because not everybody is Black power militant like us. We got some of those artsy fartsy Negroes who are, actors, painters, whatever. I want to have everything, because I want people to look at this show and realize that you can do whatever. Your Blackness doesn't have to be confined to one particular thing. And I think that we have proven that on the show as well. Like, I never would have thought that I could say that I'm an author, and my little sister inspired me to do so. She's an author. I wanted to be like her. I wanted to be like other people that I knew that were authors. So I put a guideline. I pushed myself to want to do that. I want to make this show grow. I want to make this show pop. Why do I want to do that? Not for my ego, because I feel like I got 3 dope individuals on this show with me, and the world deserves to see them. So I owe it to them to try to make this as tight as possible, as crisp as possible, and to make people love this show, because I love all 3 of them and I want the world to love them as well. So with that being said, I think I talked about it enough. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Definitely let everybody know about the show. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on iTunes, subscribe on Spotify. If you want to donate to the show, go to our Cash App, $manlistenshow. If you want to buy merch, you can go to our Instagram. You can click the link. You can see the bio. You can buy our merch, get a shirt, get a long sleeve t-shirt, get a regular t-shirt. Everything helps the show. It helps if we just put it right back in the show, improving production, getting better mics, getting better cameras. If we're going to do some more shows on location, all that goes to that. So, people always say when you helping Black folks, you don't get rich. So this is a labor of love. If you want to help us do it, we really appreciate y'all. Everybody that's been rocking with us for these 100 shows, or if you came in during the middle, or if you're just listening tonight, Hey, we love you. We appreciate the support, and we'll holler at you. Peace.
Peace.
Don't say nothing crazy because we still on Facebook.
You know, Lab always has the funny stuff to say.
It's our Ben Franklin show, 100.
Oh, keep it a band.